So Senator Elizabeth Warren decided to rip Trump a new asshole on social media, and she went on Facebook and said the following, quote, "Let's be honest, Donald Trump is a loser. Count all his failed businesses, see how he kept his father's empire afloat by cheating people with scams like Trump University and by using strategic corporate bankruptcies, to skip out on debt. Listen to the experts who've concluded he's so bad at business that he might have more money today if he'd put his entire inheritance into an index fund and just left it alone. Trump seems to know he's a loser. His embarrassing insecurities are on parade. Petty bullying, attacks on women, cheap racism, and flagrant narcissism. But just because Trump is a loser everywhere else doesn't mean he'll lose this election. People have been underestimating his campaign for nearly a year. And it's time to wake up. Many of history's worst authoritarians started out as losers, and Trump is a serious threat. The way I see it, it's our job to make sure he ends this campaign every bit the loser he started it." All right, so then later on Twitter, she continued. She said, "Donald Trump is cool with being called an authoritarian." That's a quote from him. Quote, "Cool with being called an authoritarian. Isn't upset at Hitler comparisons and thinks we won't fight back. Wrong. Why is it that Donald Trump can call himself the unity candidate while basing his campaign on racism, sexism, xenophobia, and hatred? We cannot elect wannabe tyrants to the White House. Not now, not ever. It's up to all of us to stop Donald Trump." Okay, so later on, Trump was asked by a reporter how he responds to Senator Elizabeth Warren calling him a loser, and he said, this is a quote here, "You mean the Indian?" Oh boy. For those of you who don't know, Elizabeth Warren has some Native American roots. This is something that, in a previous campaign, a Republican dick who was running against her tried to bring this up and make it an issue. Like, oh yeah, Native American or Indian over here. And then he got his ass handed to him. She destroyed him in the election. So this is Trump thinking that he's being witty and like, I got her. I called her an Indian. Oh, you mean the Indian came after me? Pfft, who respects opinions from most people? You know what I'm saying? He thinks he got her, but understand something. She wins this exchange overwhelmingly. I said this yesterday during Bernie Sanders' interview with Anderson Cooper on CNN. Bernie Sanders is Donald Trump's kryptonite. You know who else is Donald Trump's kryptonite? Elizabeth Warren. Because Elizabeth Warren doesn't fuck around. Elizabeth Warren comes out and tells it like it is and is a real straight shooter. And Donald Trump will crumble with his faux straight shooter mentality because he's not really a straight shooter. Don't believe me? Go look at his PolitiFact file. I think PolitiFact is, if anything, a little biased in favor of Republicans, and they go a little too soft on Republicans. So for them to even say when they fact-check Donald Trump, like, yeah, he's more often than not dead wrong about everything he says. Everything he says is just false. Well, that shows you something, doesn't it? So if you want to defeat Donald Trump, you have to have Bernie Sanders against him. You have to have Elizabeth Warren against him. I think Hillary Clinton is a super weak candidate to run against Trump because it'd be so easy for Trump to portray that election as the establishment, Hillary Clinton, versus the anti-establishment, me. And the last thing you want is the candidate who's supposed to be on the left to be painted as pro-establishment. And guess what? It would be true, because she is pro-establishment. So you're setting up for a gigantic downfall and disaster. Now, it's true that Trump might fuck up and keep doing stupid attacks like this and he'd lose big time, but it's also possible he gets his shit together and he starts just attacking Hillary's corruption and the fact that she's sold out to Wall Street and all that stuff, in which case I think he would probably win the election. And we've seen both from Trump. He released a stupid ad which goes after Hillary saying she's weak and having her bark like a dog. Like, if he does that, then he's going to lose. But if he does what he did later on that same day on Twitter, where he's like, Hillary Clinton's one of the most corrupt politicians ever, then I think he'd win, because that argument resonates. That argument is kind of true. So you need to run the kryptonite against Trump. Bernie Sanders and somebody like Elizabeth Warren should continue launching attacks against him, because when you bully the bully, they can crumble. And here she is bullying the bully with facts and data, and he's like, yeah, Well, you're not white. Aha, I got you. Even a lot of Republicans are going to look at that and go, huh? Oh, the Indian. You mean the Indian attacked me? Even a lot of Republicans will go, that. I don't know, Don. I don't know. Because that's just, that doesn't make sense. It's just you being a dick, and it can be nothing else except you being a dick. Other times when Trump is a dick, he's being a dick, but he might be right about something. Or it just might be him using naughty words, in which case, who gives a shit? But this is him being a dick, and it's just him being a dick, and there's no deeper point. There's no, like, that might resonate because of reasons X, Y, and Z, because he's attacking the establishment or corrupt politicians, or... No, that's just him being a dick. So, go ahead, Don, keep attacking Elizabeth Warren. It's not going to work out for you. Go ahead, Elizabeth, keep attacking Donald Trump. That is going to work out for you and work out for the country. And we'll see what happens moving forward here, but believe you me, Donald Trump would be destroyed, not only by Bernie Sanders, but also Elizabeth Warren, because they know exactly how to take him down.